Hi everybody. I hope everybody is doing well, especially under these challenging circumstances we've been in for the last couple of months. Fortunately, I've still been able to work, but I'm not helping people plan their events or anything like that right now because large gatherings are prohibited and no indication as to when they'll be allowed again. And we have had to basically convert our upscale dining experience restaurant to carry out. So that's been a challenge, but we've been pushing through, and yeah, we'll just keep doing that until we're given word that we're allowed to open again. I know we're in phase 1 right now. Phase 2, no indication, when that's going to happen, but that'll be limited capacity, and phase 3 will allow for large parties again. So I don't know. I sure miss helping people plan their parties. But in the meantime, I haven't had a whole lot of mojo, but I decided to try to start organizing some of my stuff, and so that it makes it easier for me to find and me to work with when I do manage to get my mojo back. So right now I'm working on organizing my ephemera from my printables, and I'm set up to create these for my Stamperia papers, because they have a lot of pieces in their collections that can be fussy cut. So I can pull those out and have them all in one place. But I'm basically creating these little file pouches, and I'm just using an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and I'm using every single inch of the paper, so there is no waste with it. There is just one tiny gusset on the side, and that allows room for some expansion. And I'm putting the cutouts in these little bags, just to help protect them and keep dust off of them and stuff like that. So I figured I'd come on and show you how I make these, and these will fit in any photo box. They are 5 by 7, 7 inches wide and 5 inches tall, not including the tab. And yeah, I'm going to show you how to do that, but I wanted to show you something else first, because I know people have a lot of questions about printers and papers and paper settings. A lot of these I printed on the Red River paper, which is really awesome stuff. I ran out of it, so some of it is Epson paper, some of it is Red River paper. I've got more Red River on order because I absolutely love it. But these, for the most part, I printed on paper and then used double stick tape to attach them to the little pouches. But then I was like, you know what? I need to save a little bit of time here. So I had a box of full sheet labels and printed out a bunch more. But I wanted to kind of show you the differences with printers and settings. Okay, so these are 3M brand full sheet labels that I used and cut down. So this, I set the print settings to premium matte paper, and it came out. I mean, it came out okay. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem using it for this purpose. But to me, it looks like a little faded. It's just not quite clear and crisp. Same paper, and this is an Epson EcoTake printer. So same paper, same printer, and I kept it on standard or plain white paper as far as the setting. And that came out much, much better. I did also print some through the laser printer, and it's nice and crisp, but it is, you know, darker and brighter than what the actual images are. And I basically, you know, scanned these and, you know, set them up so that I could, you know, do this. So this is the laser printer. This is the Epson EcoTank on a premium matte paper setting. And this is the Epson EcoTank on just standard plain white copy paper setting. So let me just show you. This is the actual, this is the original. And I put the bands next to each other. This is the laser print. This is the premium matte paper on the Epson EcoTank. And this is telling it just plain white paper. So that's a pretty close match. So I'm happy with that, and now I know if I'm printing with the Epson EcoTank on this label paper, it just said it's just standard plain paper. Now if I'm printing on, you know, the Red River paper, I use the 32-pound matte paper, and I always tell it premium matte paper, and they come out absolutely beautiful. So that's just a little information on printing. So now I'm going to show you how to do these pouches, or how I do them. I don't know if somebody else has done them. I haven't seen them, but I'm very happy with how they're letting me get organized. So I'm using the We Are Memory Keepers, the Works all-in-one tool. My sister got this for me. Thank you. And I love, you know, being able to do this with basically just one tool. The only thing I don't like is that this, well, wait a second. I'm still kind of learning. Okay, never mind. That piece isn't real sturdy, but that's all right. Okay, so I just learned something that does go out. So yay! Okay, so what I'm going to do first is, by the width of the paper, this is just standard 8.5 by 11 cardstock. By the width of the paper, I'm going to cut it down to 7 inches. And then with this strip, I'm going to cut 2 5-inch strips. There's the first one. There's the second one. And these are going to make the gussets. And this little piece that's left, it's 1 inch by 1.5 inches, and we're going to make our tab with that. So we're going to use every single inch of this paper. No waste. I love that. Okay, so now we are going to score. And I want to score this at 1/2 inch at 5.5 inches, because 5.5 inches is the exact center of an 11-inch sheet of paper. And I don't have any scoring capability over here, so I'm just going to flip this, line it up, and score at 1/2 inch on this side. So easy peasy there. Love that I discovered that folds out. Yay! How long have I been using this thing? Okay, actually I don't want to put that away quite yet for my gusset pieces. I want to do 2 scores. Yeah, you can decide if you want larger gussets, but then you would have to break into another piece of paper to do that. So I wanted to work with what I had without having any waste. So with the gussets, I'm scoring at a 1/2 inch and 1 inch. And again at 1/2 inch and 1 inch. So, and these little strips are 1.5 inches wide, so you're scoring every 1/2 inch. Okay, now I can put this away for a minute. Okay, so I first am just going to fold these 1/2 inch ends. I'm just going to fold them so it'll be really quick and easy once I get the tape on. And you can either glue down or tape down. I'm going to tape because that's just what's quicker for me at the moment. And this is 1/4 inch score tape. And I'm going to remove that. And I'm just going to fold this onto itself. And that gives you a nice, sturdy, top in the front and the back of this pouch. Flip this around. And do the same thing with the other end. Okay, and then you will fold it in half on your score line. And just score that down. Now, if you're using labels, this particular one has 2 different scores in it. So there's one score and there's the other score. So I'm just going to take the center piece of backing off at the time being. I don't want to take the entire backing off because if I don't get it down right, this is permanent paper, permanent label paper, so if you don't get it down right, you're going to have a mess. So I also peel up just a corner of the next larger piece so that I've got something to grab onto when it's time to do this. So hopefully, let me get this in a good spot here and try to zoom it in a little bit. And I'm going to try to, sorry, but I have to do this from an angle where I can actually see it. So what I want to do, I have this corner that doesn't have the adhesive exposed. So I'm going to line that up with the corner of this, of the little pouch first. And then bring the other corner that has the adhesive exposed. And then press it down. And then get that side down. Then I'm going to pull this back and pull off the sticker paper and then just start smoothing it down as I'm pulling that off. And then I still have one little corner piece. I didn't bring my little pokey tool or anything to grab this, but there we go. And it's pressed down, so it's nice and neat. Take this back out. So now you have this, and I like to put this down first before I put the gussets in because it's a nice flat surface. Once you get the gussets in, yeah, you got some bumpies going there. So now for the gussets, I'm just going to start with the side closest to me and fold it in, flip it over, fold it in. Do that again with the other one. fold it in toward the center or away from me, flip it over, and do the same thing. Okay. So you have your gusset, and I like to put this side down so that everything is basically going to sit inside of the gusset once it's expanded. And also to eliminate a little bit of bulk, I'm just going to trim these corners. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. And you can tape these down or glue them down. I'm going to glue them down just to make sure they have a little more strength. Okay, and again, as the gusset is kind of unfolded, I want this flat piece down where the edge of the gusset is going to meet the edge of the pouch. So I'm going to glue this down. And this drives me nuts how I can't figure out the angle. Okay, so I'm going to put the point at the top, and the other point will be just above the seam. And I'm just going to make sure it's lined up with the edge. It's sticking out a little bit, so I'm just going to adjust that. That's another advantage of the wet glue. Okay. And now I'm just going to smush that down so it gets a good grip. I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. Okay, and I'm going to line the point to the top, and just above the fold line, I'm going to pick it up and make sure it's even along the edge. Press it down and then squish it down. Okay, and then just to get this folded up, I'm going to go ahead and put glue on both sides. Oh, a little too much at the top there. And what I'm going to do is lift this up, and I'm going to hold these bottom points down with my fingers and shift that. You know, just fold it over, and I'll pick it up and make sure that the edges are lined up. Do the same thing for the other side. And I will take my scoring tool and just press down and make sure that that's good and stuck, getting good adhesion. Okay, so got a little bit of glue coming out there. Okay, so now I've got the little pouch with just a small gusset. I mean, I could have made the gussets larger, but I don't want these to take up a whole lot of space. So if they do start getting too fat, then that means I've got to start using some of the stuff. Okay, and then we still have this little 1" by 1.5" piece. Let me see, what did I do with it? I printed out on coffee dyed paper, you know, just the tab names that I wanted to use. And this one is Lilac Flowers. I've just got to find it on here. Don't tell me I did. Oh, there it is, right at the top. That's handy. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these strips down. And they're all going to be 1.5 inches wide. Oops, did I just do 1 1/4? I think I might have. Yeah, I did 1 1/4. Oh well. 1.5. That's 1.5. Okay, yeah, that screwed me up as far as these being centered, but it is what it is. So then I'm going to take my little 1" piece, 1" piece, or 1.5" piece, okay. And on the back, yeah, I'm going to, you know, kind of line it up. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see a shadow back behind it, because I do want to leave some room at the top for the next one. But I also don't want it too far down on this. Okay, so maybe 2 lines isn't necessarily going to work out so well here. I'm just going to have to deal with it. Okay, so I'm going to use the straight edge as a guide, and then just cut this down. And I'm just going to use the glue stick. To get this onto here. And since I have so much at the top, because of the top margin on this particular one, I'm lining this one up with the bottom. And then I will just trim using the back as a guide. Whoops, sorry about that. Okay, and this board happens to have a little corner rounder punch on it. Flip it over to get the other corner. Okay, and I'm not going to glue this one down yet. Whoops. Because I am trying to keep these kind of organized, and that the tabs aren't directly behind each other. And on the Stamperia papers, I do want to alphabetize them. So I'm not actually going to glue this down, but I would just put some glue on the bottom here and then line it up on the, you can line it up on the front or the back. If you want it on the back pouch, then you've got to put your glue on the back. But I like it in the front, so I would put the glue down here and then attach it, you know, wherever I want to in alignment for this particular one. But for now, I'm just going to put that in there. And that is pretty much it. I've got a bunch to do. I've got to get some more photo boxes. I don't know if I'm going to do a, yeah, if I'm just going to wait for Michael's to reopen or get some online. Not sure what I'm going to do yet for that. But, you know, I had this little box and it happens to be perfect for, you know, this is basically my masterboard box. You know, and I can have another box for Stamperia. I can have another box for my journaling pages, you know, that I'm doing the same thing with, as far as cutting out tags and stuff. But I love how I have everything for one collection or one design right in one place. And if I'm working on a project, I can flip through the box and, you know, see if there's something on that page, you know, in here that I might want to use, you know, or with a color theme or something like that. So if I'm looking at the front, I know I've got bits and bobs, you know, from these designs, so I can just, you know, pull out, I don't know why I've got 3 here, pull out my little pouch, just pull the whole thing out so that I know where it goes back, go through. It's like, ooh, I like that ticket. I'll just go ahead and use that. Do that. Back in its pouch and back in the box. So it's not flying out all over the place. So thinking that's going to help me when I do get my mojo back. And I hope that gives you some inspiration for organizing your little bits. And as I use like the Stamperia papers, you know, if I have odd bits left, then those can go in the pouches too. You know, instead of having one huge big scrap box, I can keep it organized by collection and color and things like that, and just run with it. So hope that gives you some inspiration. And again, I mean, you can print these on the labels, you can print them on regular paper, you can do them whatever size you want to do them. But I like this size because it's good for tags, it's good for scraps, it's good for little bits, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. So that is it for now. Don't know when I'll be back, but it was nice spending a little time with you. I appreciate you watching, and hopefully I will see you soon. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.